hinder you. Don't you let where you've been hinder you. Don't let what they've said hinder you. Don't you let your past hinder you. You're a woman without limits. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. A woman without limits. Yes, you are. There's nothing the enemy can do to stop what God has for you. There's nothing the enemy can do to stop what God has for you. You're a woman without limits. Woman, 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 woman without limits. Na 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 na. Woman without limits.
Good evening, viewers. You're welcome to Woman Without Limits. I'm Reverend Kiuna, and it's a delight to have you tuned in. I know you're going to have an awesome time tonight. We have Esther and Dindi. She has such an amazing story. She's come from a mighty long way, and God has seen her through until now. And you know what? That can be your story too. We are here to transform your lives. We're here to let you know it's not how you start, it's not even where you start, it's not even who you start with. Nobody can stop you but you yourself. You are a woman without limits, and a man too. You don't need to allow anything to detour you. You are a woman without limits, and stop limiting yourself. Esther.
I'm already inspired.
What's up?
This is great. I'm really glad to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you could make it. And tell us about Esther. People are looking at all this gorgeousness and they're wondering, okay, who's that?
I'm already struck by your outfit, Eddie.
Thank you.
I'm honored to be here, Mom. And my story is interesting. To start with, I am Dr. Esther Dindi.
Right.
I am a medical doctor.
Oh.
Yes.
You are a medical doctor. Tell us about that. You know what? Me, I just know you as a fitness guru. So talk to us about,
That's another story.
Okay,
We will be sharing.
We
are coming.
Yeah.
So I'm actually a specialist physician. So I have 2 degrees in medicine.
Right.
Yeah, my master's is in internal medicine. But before that, I am just a wife.
Right.
A mother of 3. So a simple Kenyan lady.
Can you go back to tell us where you grew up? Did you have siblings? Blah, blah, blah. Where were you
Lots
born?
of that.
Yeah.
I grew up in Machakos, in a small village that's just in the outskirts of the town.
Okay.
A place called Manza, or now known as Kenya, Israel.
Okay.
And I have 5 we are 5 siblings. I'm the firstborn, so I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. And my dad was...
Where are you?
I am the first one,
You're
actually.
the first one, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the reason my mom was
respect
called
you.
a mother. And
Yes.
my, you know.
Good.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So, so I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters. My dad was a primary school teacher. He rested with his forefathers in the year 2006.
Okay.
And I have an amazing mom. She's still around, and
Wow.
we have a place we call home. She keeps it warm and keeps us together.
Right.
And yeah, my siblings are all grown up now and doing well in life. I thank God for that, having come from that simple background where we worked hard to get to where we are. And I went to a local primary school, and yeah, out there in a public school, you can make it. I was in a public school. It was a mammoth school in Machakos, a school called Mumbuni Primary. So if you're from Mumbuni, you will do it.
You make it. You can become a medical doctor and whatever.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I grew up.
When you were there, so when you were there, were you thinking big, or you were just a school girl, just having school like everybody else?
Partly yes and partly no. I think one thing I loved about my dad, he was very inspirational. He made us think beyond our current circumstances. We had food, shelter and clothing, but very basic. But he instilled in us that value and that thinking bigger, that knowing that you can achieve something better than what he had already achieved. He made us believe that you can actually be excellent in life. Nothing would stop you. Actually, unless you stop yourself, like you said, actually, no one would stop you. And that made us grow up not feeling like we were lacking anything. And actually it boosted our self-esteem. And he used to remind us that we are a team. We are a team. So in the family, you know, if someone was not doing okay, then we are not doing okay. It was an issue of us working together as a team to be able to succeed in life.
So you were that closely knit?
We were closely knit. So when I'm fixing ugali, maybe my brother is chopping the greens, kuma wiki, and you know, all that. So we worked together. There was no male, female. We just worked together as a family.
And your father and your father and mother instilled that in you guys?
Yes.
To love each other, to be tight?
Yeah,
as a family?
Yes. And if one was not doing fine, it was a concern to everyone. And that really helped us until date. So I think in life is knowing that you have to do things together. You don't step on each other. If you rise, I rise as well. So we rise together. And that really has helped me even through life up to this point.
Wow. Wow. So you finished your, what is the school again? The name?
Momboni Primary.
Momboni.
And actually, at that point is when I started nursing a dream of becoming a doctor. My dad always loved to ask us, what would you like to become? And he didn't wait until we were grown up from that tender age.
From tender age.
So yeah, I said I would love to be a doctor, and he made me feel like you can do it. So every time, you know, I would align myself, you know, if in school, am I doing well enough to be able to achieve what?
But you know what, let me tell you, that is so funny. You know why? Because if you ask a little kid, they never say, I want to play games. They all say, I want to be a doctor, a pilot, you know, a lawyer.
That's changing.
It's always,
That's changing because I'm also becoming a businesswoman.
Okay. But the most amazing thing is that people say,
yes.
If you ask a little kid, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be all these big things,
yes.
But many of them don't end up becoming that.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I'm amazed that you followed through what you desired, because it's not your father who was, or your mother, but you desired to be a doctor.
Yes, I did.
How did that, you know?
So I think one thing, I loved to pursue excellence, and in that particular school, I think in the days past, and probably that still goes on, there was this feeling that it's only boys who perform well in school. But I just believe, like I said again, my dad made us feel like anyone, regardless of gender, you can do well. And I worked hard. So I used to be among the top girls in school, and I was fairly well behaved. And then the other thing is that beyond desiring something, which in life we desire different things, away even from academics, you want to get to a certain point. What you do is what matters actually. So what you do in between will move you from point A to point B. So I had that in me, and I worked fairly hard, and I thank God for the teachers I had. They were supportive. Some of them still ask about me till date.
Wow.
And went to a good school, a high school, and still made it from there.
Which one?
You know, should I say?
Yes.
It's not Alliance, yes, but I went to Makueni Girls High School. Yes. At that time, it was performing well. It still does.
It's a good school. No,
it's a good school.
Yeah,
I went to Makueni Girls, and while there, actually, I must say that's where the thing into fitness got into me, because due to my height, I was recruited into the basketball team, thanks to my coach, because I didn't even know I could do it.
Wow.
But when I was recruited, I was like, okay, come on, I can do this.
It's amazing, because I was going to come to the height. Trust me.
From my dad.
We were coming there. I was going to ask you, okay, you know, the height is for modeling, and the figure too.
Guys, I need to model.
And the figure too. So I'm like, okay, doctor, and all that heightened, you know.
I thank God.
So it came into play at some
Actually,
point.
it came into play in high school.
Right.
So, and I was able to juggle quite a bit. I think I was fairly active. I was kind of discovering myself at that stage in life. Surprisingly, in primary school, as much as I was doing okay, I was a bit clumsy. I was self-conscious. You know, when you're the tallest and the youngest in class, and people sometimes make fun of you, you'd be surprised. And, you know, I was finding myself.
Isn't that amazing that you can't satisfy everyone?
You can't.
Even self, you're accused for being short, you're accused for being tall,
yes.
You're accused for being light, for being dark, for having long hair, for no hair.
People will complain about even the color of the sun, so you know, so that it should be blue or something.
So you better be satisfied.
Actually, it's try and find yourself in God.
Right.
I think I love to remind people, find your identity first. Find yourself in God. God made you beautiful, wonderful. Once you have that in place,
you're good.
The others,
you're good.
You'll flow.
They'll catch up with your revelation.
Kabisa.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So in high school, I started playing basketball, and eventually I was also the school captain towards the end, and I made it. I think I made it to high school, to medical school. From there, I was able to perform well. But again, I still thank my teachers, because there's a time I was sliding, was it backsliding or something? Yes. As in, I was not doing well. And I remember, one day, one of my teachers calling me to the staff room and saying, I've noticed that you're not doing well in your maths. You know, you're able to solve, those difficult maths questions in class.
Where is X in Y?
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah, that one.
Forget it.
I was actually able to solve some of those, but come the exams and I started failing. Wow. There's a time I was failing, and I had to put myself in order. And actually, it's because my teacher, brought that up. And when I sat with him, and I realized, well, I was letting myself down. I picked myself up, became serious. My parents didn't get to know about this. Oh, yes.
Wow. But that's a very good teacher too.
Yeah. It's good to appreciate you. Yeah, and it helped me, because if I didn't get myself back on track, it would have affected my grades.
Lost track completely.
Yes.
Right.
And missed my destiny.
So you woke up quickly, worked hard.
Yes. Made it to medical school.
Right.
And by the time I went to medical school, I must say, I think at that point I was finding myself, yes. I think it gets to that point in life, you're pursuing your career. Like going to medical school was going to get me to my career, my dream career actually. But that's not all about life. I think it's at that point I started asking myself, what is it? What's that unique thing about me that I can offer to the society? And I still didn't find it. And I think you go through life with the little light that you get. I believe that God sheds just enough light for the next step on the staircase. Yeah. Just keep taking it, and with time things actually take shape. Yeah. So I went through medical school, and it was tough. I was in Moi University School of Medicine. My parents, of course, marshaled their resources. They were able to take me through, plus help Higher Education Loans Board. Yeah. I cleared my loan, by the way. I'm a good citizen.
Good girl.
Yeah, so that also facilitated to a long extent. And I still continue with a bit of fitness. There was no proper structured basketball team, but I continued being active. I was quite chubby when I joined campus.
You were.
Yes,
you were. Pictures.
I'll bring them. Yeah. I was fairly chubby, and I started just changing a little bit, small things. Small thing. I actually never embarked on a weight loss journey. No, not really. I just decided to make small changes, small habits, and I love to remind people a step at a time, a meal at a time, making small adjustments. And I started noticing changes. By the time I cleared high school, campus, medical school, I'd actually lost over 15 kilograms. Just a process. I never even used weighing scales or anything. I just noticed that transformation. And from there, I was more conscious. Right. Became a doctor. Was posted for internship, and during internship again, I almost lost my track. Again, I was sliding away from my focus. Right. And this is not because I was not doing things right, but life can be interesting. I encountered this particular consultant, and it was at a time that I was going through a tough time. Of course, I was a newly married woman. I think I did share this.
Yes, because now we
a milestone.
That's a big milestone. Like, we need to hear it.
We go back a few steps.
Reverse. Yes, there we are.
Yes, so we reverse back to medical school. In the second year of my medical school, young students, and I meet this guy who loves God. He was leading us in the intercessory team. We used to be in the drama club together. And long story short, he proposes to me in second year of medical school.
He's also in medical school?
He's in medical school. We were classmates.
Yes. I hope you are not sharper.
We will not disclose that at this
checking.
Point. Yes.
We're not going there. Yeah, we're not bruising any ego.
No, we will not. We will be women of wisdom.
Yes.
Yes. So this young man by the name Keith Dindi, who is now Dr. Keith Dindi.
Yeah, wow.
Actually aired his intentions to me, and I think he hit the target at the right time.
Wow.
He didn't miss.
He knew what
Bullseye.
to say. Bullseye.
Yes.
You are like,
right
all
into
right.
my cardium, the heart.
Right in the center. You said, where are we going after this?
I'm like, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Actually, I said yes. And interestingly,
You didn't even say, let me go and pray?
No, I think I'd prayed enough already.
So you are set.
I was set.
He found
Yeah,
a
I think he
ready-
timed.
Yeah, he timed. For
He
the
really
He's a
timed.
good man.
He must have been listening to
Yeah.
me. So anyway, I think he timed very
Wow.
well. I said yes. I think I was crazy, but I'm so glad I did. This is my 13th year of marriage. Yes.
Wow.
He's
And
a
you
great
look so
husband.
young and so beautiful.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Mom said yes. So it's been 13 years. I thank God for those 13 years. I've not been disappointed. I tell my kids that they are lucky to have a dad like him. Yeah, but back to our story.
Then we'll come back to find out how many kids and all that. So back to okay.
Yes. So after that, a couple of months, about half a year down the line, I informed my parents. I believe in openness. So actually what we were doing, I would say we were courting, we were not really dating. And my husband, my boyfriend then, my fiancé then, was a man of integrity. He said, I want to meet your dad. He actually wanted to meet my dad like from day one. And I was like, dude, take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
You don't know my dad.
Yeah.
You don't know my dad. And I think I was my dad's
Wow.
daughter. So
Right.
so I went first, talked to my parents, prepared them, and
Told
then
them he's so nice.
yeah, you know, you paint him in good
Yes,
colors.
and he loves God.
Yes, he loves.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Number one.
He loves
Yeah.
God. He's a good guy. He comes from a good family. They are
Wow.
God-fearing. Because he took me to meet his family actually barely a month after he proposed to me.
Wow, that's
And I
good,
just
man.
loved them. Oh, I
Right.
love my in-laws. I actually just call them mom, dad. They're just awesome people. I bless the Lord for them. So anyway, I talked to my parents. He came home, and I always remember what my parents said, specifically verbalized by my dad, and we used to respect the word from my dad.
Yes.
So he just told him, that's okay, we are glad you've come to us, but the thing is, I believe your parents took you to college to complete your medical school, and we took
Right.
our daughter to
Very
medical
wise.
school. Yeah, so he just said, it's okay, we have no objection, but focus and complete your education. And so we went back and like, we kind of have their blessing.
Because you thought, cause did you think that they would tell you, okay, fine, get married and continue with school?
Would you
You're kinda
believe it that we
hoping-
were crazy enough to imagine that they would say yes to our
You
ideas?
were actually hoping, like, let's do this thing, and
We were.
but they were parents.
Yeah,
So of course they
had to put some
directed
speed
you-
governors.
Right,
And it,
right.
Yeah,
And tell you, stop now, wait, okay.
so actually,
Wow.
2 weeks after we completed medical school, 2 weeks, we actually walked down the aisle. We got married. And the interesting thing is that it was before our graduation because there were some delays during that year. So we didn't graduate. We finished medical school in the year 2005,
Right.
but graduated in 2006 after medical internship.
Right.
So what I'm just saying, we were planning our wedding during...
While you were...
I was just a woman without limits
Like,
at that
totally.
point.
No, that's for real.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, but...
And you got married immediately.
Yes, we did.
Uh-huh.
And as interestingly,
Wow.
our story has inspired many young people. We love to inspire young couples. And it's not even by saying it, but by just people who observed us through medical school, because we worked with integrity. We believed in living a certain way, in purity before marriage. And so it's been good. We inspired even people who were before Christ, as in not yet born
Right,
again. And
right.
yeah.
To
so-
see Christ.
Yes.
You
yeah.
exemplified Christ.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good. That makes me want to cry.
No, don't.
That makes me want to cry and want to you know, because honestly, that's what life is all about.
It's
when you
all
can
about inspiring,
impact,
yes.
and especially when people can see God in you.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I actually believe people see God, they don't hear God from us. Like what I would say, we have the leeway to to preach and share the gospel
Right.
and the message of Christ. But if we don't live it, people won't see it. So actually what we practice has much more far-reaching impact than what we say.
Yeah, you can talk till tomorrow, till the
And
cows come home.
parenting has taught us that a lot, because
Yeah.
kids tend to follow what we do more than what we say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the two go hand
Yeah.
in hand.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. So then now we've gotten married. We are doing medical internship. We actually went to the same internship center.
Wow.
And that's why I was saying I almost lost track a bit, because it's at that point, in 9 months after we got married, my dad fell ill and actually passed away within a very short time. And I remember that day because I specifically remember I was rotating in a medical rotation.
Yeah.
That's actually my specialty, internal medicine. But that time we would have some other extra rotations, so I was in a dermatology clinic. I remember very clearly. And then I'm called. Actually, my husband came. He was in a different department, surgical, I think, and comes called me that Mama's called. That's my mom. Dad is not well, and so I had to excuse myself. I talked to the consultant. He was a very understanding man, and yeah. Anyway, long story short, later on I discovered that my husband had actually been informed by my mom that actually at that point my dad had passed away, but he did not inform me. He didn't think it was. So anyway, he got away of getting us to travel all the way home, and when we got home is when I got to know. So I thank God he's already healed. I can talk about it now without crying. Yes, and at that point, in the medical rotation, after that, you're given a sympathetic leave a few days. It was about 2 weeks, and then I came back to work. And it was really tough because we had a very mean consultant, not the dermatologist I talked about.
Right.
And interestingly, he was a consultant physician, which is what I am right now.
Okay.
And at that point, because back in medical school, when I was doing my undergraduate, I determined that I was going to be a physician. That's what I just connected with it from, back then. And then I meet this consultant, and he was really, really mean. And not just to me, he was mean to everyone.
He was just a mean personality.
Yeah, he was. And okay, he's already also passed away, long story. But
I hope he didn't pass away mean.
I hope so. Actually, that's the first thing I asked myself, because I learned from social media. He
Wow.
had hurt so many doctors, because that's why actually the story spread so fast, because he had wounded many people. He would ask names. He'd make you. It was at that point sometimes you wonder, am I good enough? Am I well qualified?
He'd make you feel useless.
Yes. And those are the times you go back to remembering, no, I'm a child of God.
Yeah.
I have value regardless of what this person thinks.
Yeah.
And I know words of affirmation go along.
Yeah.
We cannot say it doesn't matter when you tell me I look good. It matters.
It matters.
But you have to grow tough skin that if someone tells me you
That
look
you don't
horrible,
look good,
I won't be crushed. I'm like,
right.
that's what you think.
Yeah.
I know what God
Erase
thinks.
that,
Yeah.
I erase that, I
Yes.
erase, cancel
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And you can
But
imagine having to erase the whole day.
I know, but when somebody is like that,
Yeah.
it means that they are insecure within themselves.
Oh, yes.
So they're trying to pull you where they are.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not
true.
about you.
Yeah.
It's always about them.
They want you to come to their level.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I almost did that. And I almost did that because, at some point I decided, you know what? I'm actually not going to pursue internal medicine. I'm going to do dermatology. Yeah. So, and then with time, after internship was done and that was eventually behind me, I asked myself, and thank God for my husband who also kept, but is that what you really want? And I had to come back and say, no, you don't do what people think you should do or what someone told you can't do. You have to remain focused on the
I like
vision.
your husband already.
He's a great man.
That's
He's actually
amazing.
helped me remain focused. So the times I have self-doubt, I think God uses him to remind me, hey, you're a
going
woman
somewhere.
of destiny. You're meant for something.
Yeah.
So you're not going to crash and make the society lose what God wants you to give just because someone said you can't.
Wow.
So anyway, it took a while, and that means it's good to have natural relationships that actually boost you. Still, those times when you're low, you need someone to pick you up and tell you, sister,
you can do it.
You can do
Stop
it.
this.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so eventually, I remember this one last time that I felt victorious, and we were having actually a symposium. It was at Ole Sereni, and it was a physician symposium on a certain condition, medical condition. And there I was doing my master's now as a registrar. We call them registrars. I did my master's in the University of Nairobi, and there were many presentations being done. And during masters, let me tell you, you feel like you have two brains. Okay, it's very challenging, but at that point, you read a lot, you get to know what's being researched. So I knew quite a bit.
Wow.
And then this particular main consultant is there presenting, and then he's asked a question, and honestly, I felt like he was fumbling. And I felt like, no, I've just read this. I know the letter. And I felt like standing up to answer. Then I said, no, bad spirit. As in, I've learned, when people try to pull you down, don't try to compete and show that you have it. Because I realized what was driving me at that point was just to prove it. I made it.
Yes, I'm not what you said. I made it.
Not what you said. And I realized that was in bad spirit. So, I coiled myself and you're a child of God. That's not the way. And later in a discussion, we, all those things are sorted out. And yeah, so, but it just made me feel, Victoria, that it's not what someone thinks about you.
It's what God says about you.
And actually, it was surprising. He came to say hello to me. I think he had forgotten all those things he did. And maybe he realized, she made it. She's a registrar.
She's actually.
And I was about to graduate and eventually graduated. And so sometimes I saw he's a changed person or a changed attitude. And I realized, well, I think when you finally make it, even the people who doubted you.
But obviously, but obviously, success is the answer. Don't even talk. Let success answer for you.
It's, it's
just succeed.
A table before your enemies.
Just succeed. They will resonate.
And when I feel low, even now, sometimes I remember what God has done for me in the past, the victories I've made in the past, and I remember, hey, when you're low, just remember where you came from. You can go further.
You can make it.
You can make it. You can make it.
Tell us about now the internal, what do you mean by internal doctor?
Internal medicine. Okay. But it's always a challenge. I think it's easy to explain who a surgeon is. Like my husband is one. The people who just operate on people.
Your husband cuts people.
Yeah.
Wow. He's a surgeon.
He's somewhere in the audience.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a surgeon, and he does hair transplant as well. They set up a facility called the Hair Hub, the Trichology Center. That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But he's a surgeon. So I'll say, I am not a surgeon. Obs-GYN, they are the surgeons who deal with women. And then we have pediatricians who deal with babies. Now, I love to say internal medicine, the physicians, or others in the West, they are called internists. We are not internists in terms of medical officer, interns, but we deal with internal issues. We are like adult pediatricians. We are the version of pediatricians dealing with adults. So we deal with the infectious diseases and mostly lifestyle diseases, because we are seeing. So we are talking about diabetes. So we kind of doctor you'll find in a specialized medical operation clinic dealing with heart diseases, lung diseases, diabetes, hypertension, and that kind of thing. So springing from that, actually, I set up now a different outfit. I am the founder and CEO of an outfit I call Dr. Fitness.
Okay.
Dr. Fitness.
How did that now graduate from internal? Now you are outside. Because now you have come from inside, you have come out.
And now I'm out external.
You are now external,
Actually,
this is so good.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Practicing medicine for the last, this is actually my 13th year.
Yeah.
And along the way.
As old as your marriage? Okay.
Yes, actually, because you see, we got married soon after medical school and went straight into internship. So after internship now, practicing medicine, I discovered, even before I did my master's, that I was inclined to talk more to my patients who have diabetes, who have hypertension, who seemed, not to have some things quite going well. And I realized beyond, working on the prescription and adjusting medication, I was more inclined to, Mommy, do you exercise? And they're like, exercise? I'm like, do walk enough. You know, walking is good for your health. What is it that you eat? And so I realized I would spend a little bit extra time. We have nutritionists in the hospitals and all that, but before sending the patients there, I believe that patients value what the doctor said.
Right.
So I would go an extra mile and explain to the patient, you know, you need to adjust your diet like this and exercise. Don't think about going to the gym. You can walk this much and this number of days of the week. And you know, I noticed some of them, we'd actually start reducing the dosages, you know, and a few of them, like type 2 diabetes, they actually come down to just nutritional management. We stop giving them. Actually,
are you serious?
Yes, type 2 diabetes is reversible. It's a lifestyle disease, so it can be reversed by lifestyle.
Right.
Yes.
By what you eat and how you exercise.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I hope you're watching and listening.
Please, I hope you're hearing this.
Yes. No, that's deep.
It's true.
Wow.
It's true. And actually, I love to remind people that we are here on earth for a purpose. We all have assignment.
Yeah.
Mom, what you're doing, you may not realize, but you're inspiring so many women. You're shaping so many destinies. And you know, just being vibrant and having good health enables you to achieve that.
It's true.
So I love to remind people that taking care of your health will allow you to achieve your mandate here on earth.
True.
To carry out your assignment without being burdened by lots of issues. So actually now, the more I realize I have this passion, I stayed feeling something in me that maybe I should actually set out to do this. And particularly after I got my last born, who just turned 3 in February.
How many babies do you have?
I have 3.
You have 3? Oh, how old and how old?
Yeah, the first 2 are twins. Yes, a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
Joshua and Darlene.
How old are they?
They're turning 10 in May 27th.
Okay.
Yes, they're amazing kids, and they've taught me a lot.
Yeah.
I tell you, parenting, it's not for the faint-hearted.
Wait. The greatest job on earth.
It's
parenting.
a mission.
What?
It's a ministry.
And then it's forever.
Yes.
Now,
it is even when they grow up.
Right now, my mother is still parenting me.
Yes.
Really?
It's like, baby, how are you?
And I'm a grandmother of 2. And she's still, I'm telling you, don't play with me.
I need to eat what you're eating because you look too young. After this, we'll have a one-on-one. We will talk. I need some anointing.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, so of course babies teach us a lot, and you know, they don't come perfect. They look like angels, but they're not angels. We have to train them as God trains us.
Right, absolutely. From scratch, yeah.
So after that baby, I just decided I want to get back in shape. So I was ambitious. I've been delivered through cesarean sections, so I've had 2 cesarean sections.
Right.
And that's when I really tested my resolve. It's not easy when you're struggling with your baby, breastfeeding and doing what, and nursing your scar, and you're telling yourself, I need to do this. But anyway, I just, and you know, the thing is, I just became careful how I ate, what I ate, and ensured that I still had enough breast milk for the baby, because I believe in exclusive breastfeeding the baby for 6 months, and I was able to do that. I know there are medical conditions that can limit that, but that's not at least I had good health. Thank God for that. So that is what started inspiring me more, because I started exercising in the house, and by 6 months, I'd lost most of the weight. So by 10 months, I was back in shape. Right. And I started discussing with my husband again. Thank God, he's my first support. I say he's my biggest fan.
That is so good. That is so beautiful.
Yes, wow. He's not pulled me down. He's actually supported me to rise. Yeah. So with time, people started asking me, what is it that you're doing? And I thought of my patients, because most people, let me tell you, I'll admit, I've encountered a lot of ladies. What happens, things change after you get babies. They really change, because you'll gain weight during pregnancy and sometimes even during nursing the baby and all that. And sometimes the journey back just feels overwhelming. Right. I have a passion for those ladies.
Like I know, you can start the gym.
Yes.
When you stop, to start again.
The laziness abounds.
It abounds. And
you know, we have busy schedules.
Monday is a good day. Like you don't need to start on a Tuesday. You know, like
I mean,
really.
You can wait for next week. Yeah.
And next week is fine.
Yeah,
so Monday,
it's fine. Or wait for
then
January.
Monday, your girlfriend calls you and tells you, why don't we do lunch?
And we've not met for a while.
Next Monday is also fine. Like you forget Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I know, and I can relate.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I think, because you have to lead from the front, there are those times have the challenges. And to start with, you know, most women are doing fantastic. They are rising the corporate ladder. They are doing well. They're in the boardrooms. They're very successful, brilliant ones, running businesses and all that. Very highly educated. And there are real challenges. I mean, you're busy, you rise very early in the morning, you come back in the evening, you're tired. I mean, the last thing you'll think about is exercise. I know, please, yeah. I know. And so having that understanding, I thought of a way I can encourage women to do that.
Wow.
I encourage everyone, but I have a special spot for women.
I like
and,
it.
And so that's why I said Dr. Fitness, and I encourage people just to do what they can with what they have. You're busy at the workplace, then you can actually walk up and down the stairs several times in the course of the day.
Yeah.
Just every 1 hour, arise from your seat and pace about. Just be organized, or even actually answer your emails on the move and be active. I emphasize more of the activity than even thinking about the gym. I exercise at home. So that means anytime I can create. Yeah. And I've had to maintain the discipline. But what am I trying to say? I don't want someone to be overwhelmed.
And give an excuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how do you get to do that when you actually have genuine excuses?
Yeah, right.
Actually, it's breaking it down. You will be motivated today. But when push comes to shove, no, the motivation will have checked out through the window. Yes.
I don't even believe in this one of partnering. Like, we go to the gym together. We tried it even with my husband. Like, you know, like we go. I realized, let me tell you, you better do your thing.
Yeah, but
because it has to be. You have to be self-motivated.
It's true. Actually, that's the right word. It's not about external motivation.
No.
It might get you started, but self-motivation. Like for me, what I do, there are times I don't feel like, but I say, hey, you have to do this, and by doing it, I know I'm encouraging someone.
Right.
So I just change, and I change not just my outfit to be able to exercise. I change from here. I tell myself, no, you have to do. Girl, you have to do. I speak to myself.
Yes.
It's just like when you're facing a temptation.
Yeah.
You don't go stealing or do something just because no. A thought goes through your mind, but you say, no, I'm not allowed the bad to patch that.
Cancel it from the
Cancel it, yes. So when I don't feel like, no, it's not about feelings. No, I have to push myself from my comfort zone and do it. But I break it down to make it very simple. If you can just master 15 minutes a day, that's good. It's a good starting point. Actually, the most important thing is create habits. Start. Make it a habit. Don't think, I don't have an whole hour to exercise. True, you don't have. Give me 10 minutes. Just 10. And you know what that does to you? Like, oh, okay, then I'll do 10 every day. With time, you're like, no, I can challenge myself. I can do 15.
I think 20 is
fine. We went through school not because it was easy, but we had to do it. So I thought, no, I have to study. I don't have to fail my exam. So it's about just shifting people's focus and, you know, their mindsets and all that.
And in the long run, I think that's the thing that works out the best in
yes,
you.
It does.
Because, I mean, it works for you. It's not against you.
And create a culture.
Yeah.
And of course, along the way, after I set out Dr. Fitness, now it's been 2 years, I love to motivate people and discover people are falling off the way. Like you say, you feel motivated, and then a month down the line, you no longer have the sight. Some people will share with me, I've lost 6 kgs, and then along the way, they kind of lose the psyche. So I also started a movement I call Fit Sisters Kenya. So I have an online movement, a Facebook group. Now we're over 20,000, but it's about ladies encouraging one another and saying, well, we've had amazing transformations. And I moved it to beyond me. It's not about me. I am not perfect. And someone has a different story that will inspire someone else. That, you know, so you feel like, oh, maybe it was an easier journey, but you find someone else who has made such great strides from a long journey, and it encourages someone else. So I love to inspire change in people and good change. And of course, I wrote a book.
Wow. And you look so nice.
And this one I'm signing to mom. This one I'm dedicating to mom. Yay!
Guys, this is mine.
It's hot. I will sign it to her.
Please, you give it to me, I hold it myself. Can you see? Hey. And then I love the colors. I love the colors.
You're a girl of color.
Dindi. This is so beautiful. And you look amazing. With 6-pack, what is it? Please, we finish this program, you just go.
We're going to pack them into
this. 6-pack, is it even fair? 3 children later. Please, let's just say bye.
Hashtag
Children
doable.
later.
Yes.
Your husband better be walking, holding your hand like this.
Yes. Actually, he's the manager of the brand Dr. Fitness.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
He's the manager.
He's the manager.
He's a good man.
But he deserves that spot. He's
So
been
you
very
already
supportive.
have 20,000 following on Facebook.
I actually have close to 50,000. I have
Yeah.
a page called Dr. Fitness.
Right.
Doctor typed in full, but the ladies only, the movement, it's actually a group.
Right.
It's a ladies only group. It's
Yeah.
one that has about 21,000.
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay, you
I
say reduce the effects of stress, promote heart health,
yes.
and restore balance in your life.
Yes.
Tell us
It's
about
about our
that.
process. It's actually about our process. I
Wow.
think one thing, like if you decide, I want to get a flat belly, for instance, the first ingredients have to be right, setting the foundation right. Number one, knowing that it's going to be a process. It's going to take you time. Once you have that right mind, then the other thing is that it will require commitment and consistency. Those things actually will help you. And you won't be overwhelmed that, 2 months down the line, my tummy is not flat. No, you realize that by starting the process, you're already reaping health benefits before you even get to that. As in, actually, and medically speaking, if we do blood tests on you, if your cholesterol are bad and you're eating properly, healthy, you're exercising, before you get to that figure or shape, you actually are reaping benefits. And that's why for me, I love to focus people on the health benefits more than a certain size.
Wow.
Because we come in
more than
different
the size.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
that is what is discouraging most people.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you need to lose 50 kilos.
And
First
then,
of all,
yeah.
that in itself is annoying.
It's like climbing Mount Everest.
And
you know?
then when you need to lose 50 kilos, if you've lost 10, it looks like you haven't moved.
I just say I love when people celebrate.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when ladies post and they're like, I've lost this, and you actually can see some transformation. They don't have to, and they even know this is not where I want to be. But we celebrate. Oh, I make a big fuss. You've done well. I appreciate that.
For
because
1 kilo.
if you don't appreciate that process, let me tell you, if you want to go to 10th floor and you can only use stairs, if you're on 2nd floor, you're still moving. You are still moving. Yes.
I like you. I like you. Ah, man.
Yes, so if you're on 2nd floor, you're still moving. Don't go back downstairs. Just keep moving.
Keep going.
Keep
Go
moving.
to third,
Don't
fourth.
look back. And even if you stagnate on 4th floor for a bit, it's okay.
You're still not going
Yeah,
down.
yeah, you're not going down. Take another step, and keep going. If you look at it that way, that I am moving in the right direction.
So you
I am taking the
never
right.
backtrack.
You
Yeah.
never backtrack.
Yeah.
You never.
So
You'll
you
get
make
some
it a
discourages,
lifestyle.
like my consultant who discouraged me,
Yeah.
but that doesn't stop you. By the way, the people tell you can't, those are your motivators. Tell them, you say they can't, I can,
I'll
and
show
I
you.
will.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
And I will.
and
Yeah.
I will, and I will. So the thing
Wow.
is,
Yeah.
I love to tell you, keep moving. Take the next step. Just one step after
At a
another.
time.
You'll find yourself on 10th floor. And even if you never get to 10th floor, you get to 9th, you're close by. Someone can come from 10th floor and reach you and say hello.
Come on.
Yes.
I like what shocked me is that you can actually reverse illnesses like diabetes.
Yes, you
through
can.
proper living.
You can. You
and
can.
And proper dieting and proper exercise.
Yes.
Do you
Let me
believe in
actually give an
dieting?
example.
Do you believe in dieting?
I think it depends on the definition. And dieting, I think the problem is most of the time when people talk about dieting, they're thinking of a certain kind of
The 7
eating
days.
style. Yeah.
7
which is
days
wrong.
of fruit.
Not good. Not good. You know why? I think it makes it stop looking like a process. And then what happens after the 7 days? It's because you look at I'm getting to this point and that's all. And that's actually not the case. And those short term, the fads, they make you keep moving from one diet to another. They keep, working negatively on your metabolism. But once you adopt a lifestyle, because what I say, assuming you're using a lot of sugar in your tea and decide, no, sugar is not good for me, I'll start reducing that. Or I'm eating a lot of junk, let me cut back and decide maybe I'll have it just once a week and a small portion. When you start adopting those small things, it becomes a culture. I love it as a culture. It's just like our walk of faith. You start, when someone just converts, they're not suddenly there. And that's the way. They have to learn to take baby steps, a step at a time. Sometimes they don't get it right. but you keep going. So, and you look for support. If you don't have the right information, the information will come. You look for it. There are people, you know, you work with people, you guide them how to do things when they're having challenges, how to do that. And that's why I love adopting a lifestyle. I will tell you certain foodstuffs are not good for your journey. They're not good for your health, yes. But if you decide to cut everything at once, is it sustainable? For me, I never went on any diet like I'm doing this thing for. I just started adjusting gradually, and with time I'm like, gosh, I'm looking different. Yeah. Actually, it's more of, I'm looking different. And then I step on the weighing scale. Oh, things have changed. And by the way, the weighing scale can be discouraging sometimes. Yes. It's good to stay away from that gadget, you know. Once, 2 weeks, or a month is good enough. But, you know, just to
not every day.
Not every day. That thing can crash you. Yeah. Okay, let me tell you, it actually happened to me. And this was a doctor. After my last baby, I think I was really enthusiastic, overly enthusiastic, and I really wanted to get back in shape. And so this one day, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I see my belly hanging over my CS card, and I was like, gosh, I've been exercising. Actually, that time I was aggressive. Right now, I do 4 or 5 days of the week of exercise, about just 30 minutes actually in the house. But that time I was doing 5 or 6 days of the week, and I would remain very active, pacing up and down in the house. I would not just bum out. So anyway, so this day, it's about 2 months down the line, and I look at myself in this long mirror, and I was very, very discouraged. Honestly, I was discouraged. And then I told my husband, hey, gosh, I can't see any change. He's like, no, I'm just seeing a change, you know. And he can be a gentleman, maybe he's just encouraging me, you know, those times that you're looking okay. But, you know, then he told me, I'll go bring your weighing scale. I'm like, fine. So after I got it, I realized, okay, I shed about 4 kgs. But I'm like, my baby was about 4 kgs. So that's just the baby. So anyway, so later, when I got the weighing scale, I got overly enthusiastic. So I'd weigh myself in the morning. I weigh myself at 4. Then I told him, no, this thing is faulty. Why? In the morning, it's not possible. I was weighing 74, and now I'm weighing 76. How? But you know, people don't realize it's the food I've eaten, it's the water I've drunk. So I had to learn, and this is a doctor, by the way, so never feel guilty if you don't get it right. Even medics don't always get it right. So I had to learn how to use the machine, how to, so you use it in the morning after you've emptied your bladder or your bowel, and decide to do it around the same time, you know, and all that. So anyway, the thing is, you will be discouraged at times.
Sometimes.
It's true, you will. But don't,
but
actually at that point, I just kept going.
But that's life, that's in everything.
Yes, it is.
That's in everything, in your relationship, with your children, it's everything. There are times you're
oh, yes.
Then there are times you're trying to have somebody pick you up.
It's and but then they tend to come like you're hyper, and in the morning actually. In the evening,
you're like, okay,
like, what's happening?
Like, you know.
That's
wow, but that's beautiful. So tell me, how does somebody join your program?
How somebody joins my program? Let me actually share a story before I even share about the program. My mother-in-law, I am so proud of her. She was diagnosed of hypertension about, about 2 years ago. And at that time, what had happened, she underwent a surgery due to a medical issue. And at that time, you know, people believe that after surgery, you should not do much. And 2 years down the line, you can't even move much and all that. And when she saw what I was doing, we started having a conversation. One thing I believe in, especially for my relatives, don't push it on them, you know, like it can be overwhelming, and you know, people feel like, are you on my case or something? So if I only share much if someone shows interest in what I am doing. But I would, because she noticed my eating habits and, you know, the things I tend to pick, you know, she buys bread when we go home and she realizes it remains there. We are going for the gouaches and dumas and that kind of stuff. And so if she would express interest, so I explained much more, you know, why I'm doing this. So after she was diagnosed of hypertension, I decided, well, I have to step in here. This is my territory, and I need to do something for my mother-in-law. So I shared with her how she needs to adjust her eating habits, how she needs to be active. Right now, she runs a small hotel in the village, and she walks up, you know, from where we stay to up, you know, like matrimonial home to our hotel is about close to 1 kilometer. So she'll walk up and down there 3 times. And at the hotel, she manages, so she's walking up and down a bit. She shed weight, not because she set out to shed the weight, because after the surgery, she was very sedentary. She had gained quite a bit. And so she shed a bit of weight. She looks fantastic. She's very energetic.
Wow.
And guess what? She's off our medication. And at first we were fighting because she would miss her medication. I'm checking her blood pressure. I'm like, no, mom, you have to take your, but now we even had another physician follow her up. Her BP has been okay. She's off medication and she feels so good. It's been very exciting, and I felt like I've done something close home. And that's what I love to encourage people.
So
that
people can actually reverse a lot
so
of
she's
their
not going to any
issues.
gym, but it's actually just being active, just walking every day. Yeah, it doesn't cost her much. Now my father-in-law now has a car, but still she creates time to walk even in spite of that.
Yes.
So yes. So about my program, I actually, interestingly, as Dr. Fitness, my anchor is giving knowledge.
And I like the name Dr. Fitness.
Dr. Fitness.
I love it.
I blended my doctor side
and
the passion for fitness. I'm actually a certified fitness trainer. And yes,
seriously?
I have the know-how. Certified by International Sports Science Association.
Hello. Okay.
We can do this as women.
We're going to do this.
Yes, we can do this. We can do this.
We'll have a full program, and you take us on.
Oh yes, I would.
I
would be honored to work with you.
Watch this space. We're coming. We're coming. Watch us with our Keep Fit gear. Watch this space.
Yeah. So I've written a book. I run corporate wellness programs. I give health talks. So I would love to give a health talk actually here at JCC to the women, and I'll do that pro bono because I love women.
Hey!
Yes.
I'm giving you the dates, okay?
Please.
I'm giving you
the dates. And I'm creating the time.
Watch this. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, because sometimes actually just knowing the structure of how you can do that goes a long way.
Wow.
And that's why I wrote the book. My book is available.
Where is it, by the way?
Yes.
Where is this book?
So I'm opening a shop in Westlands. Actually, we are almost done with everything, getting the licenses and all that, where the book is stocked. But even now from my page, you can order and we deliver.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Dr. Fitness is your page.
It's my page.
Dr. Fitness.
Dr. Fitness.
Please
type in DOCTOR. You see a logo written Dr. Fitness, a salute of a lady in plank.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, and we deliver. And our shop should be open in less than 2 weeks at Westlands Madonna House. We'll also shout out on social media. We have a page as well called Fit Sisters Activewear. I've brought in, ladies want to feel good when they go to the gym or even work out. So I've sorted that one out.
You have sorted. We are sorted.
We are sorted.
We are okay.
So I'm bringing in our activewear. Actually, it's already in the country right now. Yes. So you look good. Wow. Once you look good and feel good, the work is halfway done. You're already fit.
Yeah, how far are we jumping? Yeah, it's true. You're watching Woman Without Limits. I tell you, this Dr. Esther Dindi has a beautiful fitness ear. You need to get this book. Get a hold of this book. Go on her page right now. We're going to put all the details on the screen right now, and I want you to please get in touch with her. Fitness is everything because our health is our wealth.
Oh, yes, it is.
All
it is.
That's all it is.
Yes.
Our health
is our wealth.
Our wealth.
It's true.
Because if you're healthy, you'll fulfill purpose. May the good Lord bless you. You're watching Woman Without Limits. Have yourself the most amazing weekend. Keep fit.
Don't quit.
I love to support my wife because I believe as men we have got a critical role to play in ensuring that the ladies that the Lord has entrusted into our lives really shine. I believe that without the support of a husband, a lady can never really come to a full fruition of what she can be. So for me, really, it's part of ministry to be supportive to her, and just exciting to see something that she has birthed as an idea becoming something so big and massive, and the influence she's now having, the stories of changed lives, all that is really exciting for me.
A few years ago, my husband and I wrote a book on marriage works. So why is it falling apart? There are so many amazing stories in this book that are really, really life transformational. These stories will totally change your way of thinking where marriage is concerned. We've been married now for 23 years. Best friends, it's been beautiful, and we believe God that is going to continue being beautiful because we are anchored on Christ. He is the solid rock on which we stand. If you can get yourself a copy of this book, it's going to bless you. Many marriages have been healed by this book. Get it.